Hi everybody, and welcome back to Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. This is Sandy, and today I am making lemon curd. I just finished my dishes, so it's still warm. And I made some angel food cake this morning so that we can just drizzle it over the top. Of course, I'm going to have Joe test it for me. He's already had it. He loves it. But he hasn't had on angel food cake. So we're going to have him test it. I'm going to show you how I make it. Now this is what I think is the most perfect, easiest lemon curd to make. I mean, everybody has their own recipe. But I think you will just find it so easy to mix. Then you're just going to heat it on the double boiler. And I'm going to tell you all about why you want to do that instead of in your pot. So let's put it all together. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll be back with Joe testing on how much he loves lemon curd on angel food cake. Well, of course, we have to start with lemons first. So I went out to the tree and I picked 6 lemons. Actually, I picked a lot more than that, but we're using 6 lemons today. I've sliced them in half. They're just sitting on the edge by the sink, and here's my juicer. Now, this is a fun machine to use. It doesn't take hardly any pressure, and it'll just take every bit of juice out of the citrus that you're doing. It's just fabulous. And I've had this machine for a year, over a year, and I have just really enjoyed it. In fact, I bought my mom one last year because I thought it was so nice, and she could do it without, she doesn't have as much strength in her hands anymore. I always like to get all the extra pulp and stuff in between each one. So I just take that out, and then I'm just using my fingers. I'm pressing it down. And as you can see, there's a lot of big chunks of pulp or seeds that stay up in that strainer part, and all the juice goes down in the reservoir underneath of it. So I can make really quick work of juicing 6 lemons in just a few minutes, which is really nice if you have a busy schedule or you're making orange juice or grapefruit juice. It's very fast. Now, from 2 lemons, I got all this juice. It is about 3/4 of a cup out of just 2 of the lemons. Now, of course, I'm going to do the other 4 lemons, and we'll see how much we get total. So it's very fun. Now, out of those 6 lemons, I got 2 cups of lemon juice, and I am only going to actually use 1.5 cups, but you can see a lot of pulp, a lot of seeds. So if I wanted to plant some new lemon trees, that's a lot of zest that gets trapped up there in the top part. Now here's a couple ways to get zest. Now after I've juiced them, I can take my potato peeler, or you could use a carrot peeler, and just peel it. And I'm just putting it on some wax paper right now. The other thing you could do is take your grater, and I like that second size, and so I can just start to grade. I think I'm pressing a little too hard, but you don't really want to see that lemon part. So I'm going to be a little bit softer, and I'm just going to go around and take the zest off that whole lemon. Now what I really need is about 2 tablespoons of zest, at least. You could always have more. Now in my food processor, I have 3 cups of sugar. And to that, I'm going to add my lemon zest. The blade in the food processor will finish chopping up that lemon zest that I did with the potato peeler. And so I'm just going to put the lid on and turn it on, and the blade will just finish chopping up and mix it all in with that sugar. I do have to plug it in before it will work. It's one of those funny, crazy things. So I'm just going to let that mix for just a couple minutes. Now there's a lot of moisture in lemon zest, and you can see that in the sugar. And so the sugar becomes moist. And when I opened it up, that lemon sugar smell was fabulous. I thought that would be great to sprinkle on top of sugar cookies. Now I need to put in 2 sticks of butter. I want them soft. Just leave them on your counter, or you put them in the microwave for 15 seconds. You don't want to melt them. You just want them to be soft. And the softer they are, the easier it is to incorporate into the sugar. Now, of course, you can always do it longer. And the softer your butter is, the easier it is for you. But you just take your time. It's only going to take a few minutes either way. And pretty soon it becomes very incorporated, and it's almost like a dough inside there. Now we are going to add 10 egg yolks. If you had extra large eggs, you could get away with 8 of them. And plus I'm going to add 2 regular eggs with the whites also. If you have one of those little gadgets that will separate the yolk from the whites, all the better. But I dropped that one, but I can just pick it up with a spoon. So I'm going to finish getting all of my egg yolks in there. And I'm just taking them back and forth and then just plopping them into another container until I have all 10. Pick that up. And it's popped over. Now I'm going to add the 2 whole eggs with the whites and the yolks in there. We're back over. I've started it, and I'm going to slowly add the egg yolks. And it will just become smoother and smoother and incorporate everything into it, which is exactly what we want. So just take your time, slowly add 1 yolk at a time, and it's a nice batter that we have. There's one more thing to add, and that is the lemon juice. Now, I made 2 cups, and I only need 1.5 cups of lemon juice. So I want to make sure that I don't pour all of it in there. So I'll just check it every so often. But you can see it's really incorporating. The sugar is dissolving in there, and it's making a beautiful mixture. Now we're going to put it into a double boiler. Now, if you have a metal top to yours, you want to use a glass bowl. The reason for that is because of all those lemons, it can sometimes give the curd a metallic taste, and you don't want that. And so I have water boiling underneath. I have all my mixture in there, and it has to get to 170 degrees. You want it to stick and coat a spoon very thickly. And if you have a silicone wisp, that will work, but mine are metal, and so I don't want to use metal. And some people tell you you can heat this up and only take you about 10 minutes. I have never had it only take me 10 minutes. Right now it's about 140 degrees, and I just keep stirring it. The water's boiling underneath of it. I have it on really about medium high. I decided I'd put my other thermometer in and see if they match. But the interesting thing, the skinny round one says 150 degrees. The other one, the metal one, says 140 degrees. You don't have to have a thermometer. What you want is when you put the spoon in there, see how it's just totally coating it and it's dripping. But that's dripping a little bit too fast still. Think thick jam. And so I'm just going to cook it just a little bit longer, a few more minutes, and then I'll be ready to put in the jars. Now, don't waste that. Make sure you taste test it. You will just love it, really. Now I have a couple pint-sized mason jars, and I'm going to pour one of them for us and one of them for Mom and Dad. And I'm making angel food cake this morning. And there'll be a little bit extra, but I'll just put that in a Tupperware bowl, and we'll use that first. But it's extremely hot at this point. I want to make sure I take a paper towel and wipe off the edges. I'm going to use a piece of parchment paper before I put the lid and the rings on there. And then I will just store that in the refrigerator. You can freeze this, and so that you will have it anytime you need it. So let's have some cake. Joe's trying the lemon curd on the angel food cake. He's already tried the lemon curd, but never on angel food cake.
That's right.
So let's see what he thinks. Angel food cake is such a weird cake, and so fluffy and so So spongy, I don't know.
That's good. It's real good, baby. That's good.
Isn't he a hoot? He makes me laugh all the time. Lemon curd, you can actually make curd from all kinds of fruits. Not just citrus, all kinds of fruits. Even passion fruit, you can make passion fruit curd. It's great. It's like jam. That's what I always think it's like, is jam. But you can just add it to so many things. You're making a lemon meringue pie, add some lemon curd in there. If you're making pudding, add some lemon curd. If you're making lemon bars, add some lemon curd in there. The flavor will just be spectacular. So instead of just adding half a cup of lemon juice, I can add half a cup of lemon curd. And the flavor is really intense. It's just fabulous. Gives it that really good silky texture. I hope you try it today. Or this week, this month. Because right now in the wintertime, there's just so many citrus in the grocery store if you don't grow your own. And it also is a good price. So I can freeze my lemon curd. And so when I have lots of lemons to do, I just make it up and freeze it. I'll see you next time.